Hey guys, it's Night Flame, and today, guys, I will be reviewing Mockingbird issue number 1. This issue is written by Chelsea Cain and Katie Niemczyk, I guess. But anyways, this issue is the debut of Mockingbird. This kind of spinned off due to the popularity of the 50 Years of S.H.I.E.L.D. anniversary one-shot. And yeah, it's a cool premise. Mockingbird is this character that's in the TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She got popularity there. She's also a supporting character in Amazing Spider-Man. She's gonna have her own spin-off series, I think. So this character is only growing in popularity. So it only made sense that they were gonna release a comic book, and here it is. So what did I think about this book? First, I'll give you a summary, and it'll be spoiler-ish, and then I'll give you my thoughts. And you know what? I think it'll be full spoilers. So spoilers ahead, beware. So this issue, let's see. Okay, so the comic opens up with I think her name is Bobby. Yes, Bobby. We kind of learn her whole routine, and we learn that she is basically a person who was revived from the dead. She had some, medication that was not FDA approved that was used on her, so she has to have, checkups to see if it has any effect on her body. So we see that she has to visit the doctors, and we kind of start with the ending of the issue where she kind of battles these like zombified old people. Then we kind of get a backup on what happens, and the whole story is kind of like her routine, like her coming to the doctor's office. We see that she has problems with like controlling her anxiety, and she also believes she has like mental powers because she moves this ball with her head. And there's some cool revelations. So you see her coming with checkups, and every time she comes for a checkup, she has come from a really weird situation. Like in this part, she came from I don't know where, but she came with a corgi. So really interesting. And by the end of the issue, you kind of see that Mockingbird is gonna fight, like the balls she was moving was all somehow connected with these zombified old people, and that's where it ends. So it sounds confusing, but that was the whole point of this issue. If you read this whole page here, Chelsea Cain tells us that basically this whole issue was just a complete question mark. Like this issue is just confusing, and it was meant to be confusing. The next couple of issues are gonna kind of fill you in on this whole thing. The next couple of issues basically are going to be gaps, like the gaps between her visits. So you'll see why she came in with a corgi. You'll see why she was dressed that way. You'll see why she had, she was moving things with her head. And the last issue of the story arc will pick up from here. So it's a cool, interesting process, and I enjoy it. It's something different. So yeah, I'll tell you what I thought about this issue, but this was meant to be confusing. And if you are somehow, interested in like solving puzzles, I think this is a big puzzle they had to solve. Like this is something interesting. So this is for people who want to think a lot, I guess. But anyways, what did I think about this issue as a whole? So the whole confusing part, it can be a turn off for some people. It can be a turn on for some people. Like for me, I was actually very intrigued. I thought the whole setup was really confusing. So when I read that part, I was like, okay, it makes sense. I'll follow what, Chelsea Cain is saying, and I'll just, keep continuing this book because I want to see how this whole thing solves up. But some people might not like this whole mystery thing, and they may feel like this issue is kind of a waste of time because it really didn't give out any clues. It kind of gave more questions or to what's happening with the series. So I can see that. One thing that I did like was the art, but I felt it was really stiff. Like this page in particular, it just feels like the characters are really stiff, like they're kind of dolls. So that was one of my little nitpicks with this issue. But I did like the use of like pages and little charts. So I did like the use of that, and I like the whole mystery aspect. But I did think this was confusing. And for an issue number 1, you really need to grab the reader, and this is kind of a big risk for this book. Mockingbird is not a well-known character like Black Widow, and you can compare this with Black Widow. Black Widow took a risk last week with having an issue that was basically more of a battle scene. Well, this book kind of took a risk by having a really confusing first issue. And for me, I don't know what to think of it. If I had to give you a really, rating for this book, to kind of like, incentivize you to pick this up, I will give this book actually 7.5 out of 10. The confusing aspect can be a turn off for some people, so that's why I'm taking some points off. And also the art, like I said, it was a little stiff, and I can understand why. Katie Niemczyk is kind of a new name to comics, so I can see why she's having a little trouble with art. So I feel like it will improve with the next couple of issues, and I'm actually really excited for the series because right now this issue wasn't the strongest, but I like this whole setup for maybe the next couple of issues. So Mockingbird #1 for me gets a 7.5 out of 10, and I actually recommend you guys to pick it up. It might be some sort of a risk, but I think it'll pay off. 3 months from now. So Mockingbird #1, 7.5 out of 10. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you like this video. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and have a nice day, guys. Goodbye.